Martin, were you frustrated at the end of the FA Cup tie against Blackpool, or happy to be in the hat still, even though there's a replay?
If you would have told me before that we need another replay, I would have been frustrated, because that is not what you want. But we had all the play and we could have scored 3 or 4 goals and we didn't. And then to be 1-0 down and chase the game, and I think we had over 30 crosses in, but it was a bit predictable, and to see that goal, and that was what we knew. You have to score out of nothing against a team like Blackpool, because they looked very organised. They need a special moment, and George did that. So in hindsight, I could say that I was relieved and not satisfied. You're not satisfied if you have to go there and play another game just before the games against City and Man United. But at least we've got another chance to stay in this wonderful competition.
In terms of the game tomorrow, I believe that you've had good news as far as injuries are concerned, and a lot of the players that were missing, like Damien Duff, Mladen Petric, are all available for selection again.
So that was good. Mladen Petric was training with us today. Damien Duff was training with us today. The only disappointment was Sitwell. So we work on him now, and he went to Germany, and people said, and the medical staff said, that he will be available. But just 5 minutes ago, they told me that it would probably be a problem for him to play tomorrow, and that is a disappointment, because Diarra is not there, So, but I've still got other players, who could fill in. So we will have a good team tomorrow.
Will that make it a priority for you in terms of the transfer window, just for cover in that area, because it's been particularly light given the injury situation and the fact that you haven't been able to field a consistent team in that place?
That is a frustrating thing, because if everyone is there, I think we got a very good squad. But as you know, Diarra, for example, was not there. We played Chris Baird in midfield, and he could have played at the back, for example, and he could have played right back as well. So maybe he has got to now. Stephen Kelly is probably leaving us. So it's a frustrating time, because of course you want to strengthen your squad, but in this transfer window, which is probably the worst transfer window out of the two, it's not easy to get the right players, and you need a bit of luck. And of course, you have to be inventive or creative, and we try to do that. But it's not that we've got all the millions to spend, because. But we've still got something to spend, and we would like to get a few players in, of course. But especially if you've got a few problems like today with Sitwell, of course you would say as a manager we should have done this earlier, but we are responsible, so I feel that we still got the players who can do the job. And of course Wigan tomorrow is a vital game for us.
And Stephen Kelly is, I believe, having a medical now at Reading Football Club.
Yeah, Stephen Kelly, this was a great servant. He had to play last year because we had a few injuries, and of course he played before, but he was never probably irregular. But for me, he played a lot of games, 90% of the games last year, and I thought he did well in that position of right back. Of course, we had Sasha Rieter in. It was a bit frustrating for him, because he was doing well last year and he wanted to play, and I couldn't guarantee him to play. So I agreed in the end to let him go and to have talks with Reading, and that is what he did. And he's got a medical now. He looked a happy customer, because I feel that he's got sort of feeling now that he will play, and I think he deserves that as well, because it's not great to be a sort of backup player for Sasha Rieter. So I could live with the fact that he left Fulham.
You talked about the amount of chances created against Blackpool and possibly being a little bit predictable. How do you change that for tomorrow? How do you make it more productive in front of goal, which is something that concerns you?
It's always simple, Of course, if you get all these crosses flying in, your movement should be better. And on the other hand, other players who will be in the box should say the delivery should be better. And there is different things as well. You can get all these crosses in, but that is probably not always difficult for defenders. If you are organised, you could deal with that. So we have to link up better. We have to try to be a bit more inventive around the box, and we've got the players to do that. It was probably horrible to see that we needed that shot from Giorgio. So why are we not finishing, from 20, 25 yards? Because of course Sitwell's got a shot, Giorgio of course, Bayer who's got a good shot. We've got other players from like the fullbacks, John Henry's in the past, and that is of course a frustration, because if you got that sort of quality, you have to use it and you have to capitalize on it, and we didn't do that. Although I have to say that Giorgio probably saved us with a great
Would you, as a manager, would you prefer to see lots of shots rather than the passing movement into the box? Would you prefer there to be more?
I feel that if you got that quality, you should use it. But of course, there's other managers, and I don't mention name, but they will say that they don't like shots, because how many shots will go in, So there's a lot of managers who will prefer a killer ball or another one too. But in the end, I believe that if you look at all the stats over the last decades, goals are created by crosses, at least 50%. Goals are created by set plays, at least 20-25%. There was a stage 4 or 5 years ago at the big tournaments that over 30% of the goals were created by set plays. So we scored 12 goals from set plays, but we conceded 12 or 13 as well. So that is good to know. You have to do better, and you have to do better on your quality, and you have to play with your quality. But of course, if there's players, in my team, who can't shoot, I will always advise him not to shoot, But if you can remember, for example, Clint Dempsey had a good strike, so use it. Brian Ruiz, had a great strike in a couple of games, and he scored. I think it was against Reading, for example, so use it. Berbatov, got a great volley, so try to use it. So you have to play to your strength.
A word on Wigan tomorrow. Obviously, a team that like to pass the ball, like to play football in the right way. Does it matter how you win?
It does matter, of course, because you want to entertain the crowd, but I prefer goals. And if we score goals, everyone will be happy. So we are capable of scoring goals. But of course, if you saw us in the last 5 games, for example, Southampton, we were a bit rigid, but we should have won. We lost 2 points because of the penalty kick, and that was not easy to take. Newcastle, we were the better team, and we scored 2 goals, but we should have scored more, but it was too exciting, Blackpool, we should have won. So last year I felt that we scored less goals, but we were a bit more productive, so out of the 5 chances. And don't get me wrong, because we are probably in the top 3 in accuracy with our finishing, but I feel that we need too many chances to score goals, and that is what we have to put right. So, of course, Berbatov scored 7 goals and Patrick scored 5, Rodriguez scored 2, but of course we can do better than that. So Hugo, who's probably someone who scored 1 and 4, Patrick scores 1 and 2.5, so Hugo should do probably a bit better, and I will ask Mladen Petric, every time when he comes on, he should do something out of nothing. Berbatov is probably satisfied to score 7 goals, but I feel that Berbatov is a player who should score 20 goals a year. So hopefully he will score another 13 this year for us, and then we will be fine.
And just in terms of the home performances, I know that the points haven't been coming at home as much as you would like. How important is that tomorrow?
It's very important. It's very important that the crowd is behind us. I can remember a lot of games. Sunderland were so unlucky, better team, and then played against. We had a red card. Newcastle was probably the only time when I can remember them hitting the bar. We were 2-1 up, so we needed that luck, and we were a bit lucky. But in all the other games, we lacked a bit of luck, But you have to force your own luck. So we have to play in the style we got to play and score goals. And if we do that, the crowd will be happy, and hopefully they will support us all the way.
Good luck tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.